I first got in 2009, which was a good time to get in.
Yes.
But I actually bought again earlier this year, even though it had increased in value dramatically. But as I look at that company, first of all, it's a retailer, it's a tech company, it's increasingly a media company. And they've done two things that are really smart. One is that every capital investment they make in their infrastructure, their distribution infrastructure, or technology, they turn into another core business. So you look at Fulfilled By, you look at Amazon Web Services, those have become huge drivers of growth for them. And additionally, they create a phenomenal ecosystem that drives people from one Amazon product to another. And I think there's still a ton of headroom. If you look at their share of market right now, it's coming close to 50% in the e-commerce business, but e-commerce is still only 13% of all retail. So, you know, how far can that go?
I mean, that's clearly, Larry, why investors have been so enticed to Amazon, the scale and how far it reaches. But then, as an investor, how do you analyze the stock? It's so complex, and there's so many business lines and revenue drivers, and you can't just look at traditional valuation metrics.
Well, I think everything that's been said is spot on, as the Brits would say. So, I think what you have to do is simplify things, and Susan absolutely identified the strengths of the company, but there are two things here. One is the business, which is absolutely spectacular, and there's nothing but blue sky ahead. And then the second thing is the stock price, what you pay for this business, and the externalities connected with the stock price. And I think therein lies the risk. Now, the stock price is $1 trillion. So if Amazon is to grow 30% from here, and the market is embedding expectations of growth, I think at least that, because it sells at a 50 multiple of cash flow, which is a story onto itself, you're looking at revenue growth in the next 3 years of $260 billion. Now, is the government or the governments of the world likely to allow that to happen? Because at the end of the day, Amazon isn't creating businesses, it's taking businesses from people that already have market share. And I think the number that Susan cited, that's the tricky number, is that they have a 50% share of e-commerce. If you go back a century ago and look at the Standard Oil investigations, Rockefeller's monopoly was in distribution, and they broke up that monopoly. I think it's very, very likely in the next 1 or 2 years under the Trump administration that the Republicans are going to be talking about antitrust in the area of distribution. And that's a risk, in my opinion, that is substantive. It's not existential. But when you buy a company at 50 times cash flow, you better be darn sure that the government is your friend. And therein, in my opinion, lies a big risk. And the president's already expressed himself on this.